Let's face it, students always complain about school. The day's too long, my math class is so boring. Why did we even have to read that in class? I hate bookwork. Can you remember formulas? I never can. High school students are really good at complaining. I mean, really, really good. High school students are so good at complaining, in fact, that my geography teacher tells us that she's going to be able to get a PhD in complaining teenagers by the time we graduate. I'm pretty sure that's not possible yet, but we do complain that much. So I started to think about all these kinds of complaints and what I could do to fix things. I started to think about where my friends and I go every day to learn. What could happen differently that would make my day better? What could I change to make it better? What could I be doing on my dream day at school? I realized I couldn't fix everything. Let's face it, cafeteria food isn't getting any better anytime soon, and the school day isn't getting any shorter. But there are some changes I would like to see. On my dream day, I'd have a learning environment that fit just right. Everything worked the way it should, and everything was the best it could be. On this day, I would be engaged. The learning environment in school would actually make me want to learn stuff. On this day, I would be an active learner. I would get to do lots of different kinds of things. So many more things than just sitting at a desk all day. On this day, I would be a partner with my teachers. They would ask for feedback and really listen to and change things based on what we said. During a normal day at school, I sit at a desk a lot and take lots and lots of notes repeatedly. On my dream day, I'm doing more hands-on work. In biology class, we do a dissection. In social studies, the whole class participates in a debate on the advantages and disadvantages of factory farming. When I do a hands-on activity in school, I pay more attention and remember more of what happened. When students have the chance to discover ideas and facts, we feel like we are the ones in control of what we're learning. And you know, high schoolers, we like to feel like we're in charge of things. You know what? It seems like my math classes have always had the largest, heaviest textbooks. I don't want to copy problems out of the textbook anymore. Not even out of an e-textbook, though that would be pretty cool, but that's not the point. I want to see how math works in real life. I love math, not something you'll hear most high schoolers say, and I want to see it happen. A few months ago, I watched a wonderful TED Talk by this high school teacher named Dan Meyer. Mr. Meyer set up problems with real-world things that the students would interact with, like a fish tank or a car. He explained everything so well that you can imagine how fun it would be to be in his math class, actually doing things, instead of solving problems from the book. I want to go out, take pictures, make measurements, change variables. I want math to be something I've actually done, because then it would be something that really mattered to me. Instead of solving this problem from my Algebra 2 textbook, a glass is filled with 6 inches of water and left out on the counter. The amount of water left in the glass after d days is f of d equals 6 minus 0.2d. After how many days is the glass empty? I would actually be taking measurements on how much water is evaporating out of the glass every day and figuring out that you have to use an inverse function to describe something real that's happening in my world. On my dream day, geography would be a lot more like geometry. No, wait, hear me out. In geometry, we reason through a lot of proofs. In geography, we memorize a lot of definitions from the back of the book. I'd rather do more research, have more discussions, and have the class come up with some of their own definitions for things. What makes a country developed? I want the time to be curious and to answer my own questions. You know, something I've never understood is why we were never asked by teachers how something went. No teacher ever asked me anything like that until last year when I went to visit one of my previous 7th grade teachers. She asked me how things had went in her class and what had worked and what hadn't worked, and I helped her choose a story for the current class to read. Her asking my opinion made me feel more important than the 8th grader I was. I think this is something that should be done more. On my dream day, teachers ask students for feedback after we do an activity in class so we can work together to find out what aspects work and what should be changed. By doing this, we'd be not only helping ourselves, but future classes. This is a win-win situation, right? On my dream day, I fail a test. It's okay, we all do it. No one has perfect days. And failing is a way I can learn how I need to improve. When you fail a test, maybe it's because you didn't understand the material, you didn't understand how it went, or you didn't understand the lecture. On my dream day, I would have a chance to evaluate myself and try to figure out why my grade was what it was. Teachers can go over these evaluations with these students and try to see what they can do to help. Actually, I've seen something like this in school already. My math teacher, Miss Miles, was really confused one day when the whole class bombed a big test. So she wanted to know why. She gave us 3 sticky notes. On the first, we wrote why we made the grade we did. On the second, we wrote what we were going to do to not make that grade again. And on the third, we wrote what she could do to help us improve our grade. She let us help her figure out what went wrong, and the process helped us to realize that maybe it wasn't all because of her teaching, and maybe some of it was our fault. To be fair, it isn't always easy to know where you go wrong, unless you stop and think about it. By realizing what we had done wrong, we were able to fix some issues on our own, and she had the opportunity to improve her teaching. On my dream day, teachers and students become partners in the learning process. Teachers and students have a common goal, learning something new. Not just students learning something, teachers learning something too. Having chances for students to give feedback to teachers and to ourselves moves us closer to this common goal. On my dream day, I don't just sit there and copy problems. I make problems, and I discover how to solve them. I ask my own questions and find my own answers. I learn things. I don't just regurgitate information. I take time to reflect so that I can learn from my mistakes. Sound like a good day? Thank you.